Well, I do everything backwards. I started with nothing, like most people do. And I grew up over in Antioch, Tennessee. And I remember one time I used to ride my bicycle down to the local Quick Sack to get an icy and to get a Snickers bar and, just hang out and that kind of stuff. And I came in about 12 years old and I asked my dad, I said, Dad, I need some money. He said, you don't need money, you need a job. And he said, what can you do to earn some money? I said, well, I guess I could cut some grass. Some of my buddies are doing that. And he said, good, get in the car. I went, why? So he took me down on Nolensville Road, true story, back in the day, little printer shop, and printed up 500 business cards that said Dave's Lawns. And I said, Dad, this may be a little overkill. I just wanted an icy. But
do you still have some of those cards?
No, I wish I did. They're probably valuable. But I came home, knocked on the closest 50 doors in the neighborhood, and thus a business was born. So I've always been in business. So when I got out of school, met my wife Sharon, we got started, we were broke, and I started buying and selling real estate, like you said in the introduction, and I got rich. It was wild, man. I mean, it was very cool. Sometimes I hear these people say, all those rich people are miserable. We were having fun, man. I mean, we were having a blast. But I did a lot of stupid things. I didn't do anything illegal or immoral, but I was young and too aggressive, and I tried to borrow my way into success. And those debts caught up with us. The banks got sold to another bank. The new guys looked down and said, there's a kid owes us $1 million. 26 years old. They called our notes. We spent the next 2.5 years of our life losing everything we owned. In our case, we had 90-day notes. And the ones that weren't 90 days, they called into question the quality of the collateral, which is a little bitty clause about 4 pages in that you never read when you're signing all that stuff. And so they called them. And bottom line is it was my fault. I was the idiot that signed up for the trip. I put myself, my family, my business in jeopardy by the structure I used financially. And so as a Christian, it was kind of weird. I met God as an adult on the way up, but boy, we got to know him on the way down. So at the bottom of that mess, I waved the white flag. I surrender. I'm going to do it your way. What is your way? I'm going to handle money your way. I'm going to handle my marriage your way. I'm going to handle my kids your way. I'm going to handle my business your way. So as best we have been able to for the last 20 years starting this business, we've grown it on a WWJD basis. We're trying to figure out, and it's not easy, it's not perfect, and it's not that we don't have fights or argue or make mistakes, but we're going to be caught trying to treat our team members like people, our customers like people, our vendors, even our competitors like people. And we're going to call evil out in the marketplace when we see it. That's evil, that's wrong. And we're going to call good things out and congratulate, pat those on the back, and lift up the brokenhearted. And that's been our whole process for engaging in this, which is a weird way to approach business these days. It's kind of like the financial principles we teach. It's common sense. Here's an idea. Let's use the golden rule. Jesus said, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And so treat other people like you want to be treated. So if I'm going to get fired, well, how would I want to be treated? Well, I'd want to be told what I was doing wrong like 6 times and give me a chance to fix it. Lots of clarity and clear and direct, blunt communication. And then if I'm the wrong dude for it, let's just say so. Let's not wallow in it. And then treat me nice. You don't have to beat me up. You don't have to yell at me. You don't have to cuss at me. And we just put your arm around and go, dude, you're on the wrong seat on the bus, and I don't have another seat right now for you. You got to get another bus. Fly and be free, And if I've got a little money, we'll send you with some money. It's not about the money. It's about you can't do this thing, right. Or how would I want to be hired? We actually involve spouses in the hiring process. How weird is that? Because Proverbs 31 says, who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain. If my wife gets one of those feelings, we don't do it. It costs me 10 grand every time I go against one of those feelings. The one thing I think that I remember back when, I was in school and a business major, and I was so go-get-em and goal-oriented, and I was going to do this, this, and this by the time I was 30. And I kind of, intellectually, I probably didn't think this, but maybe in my emotions, I kind of thought that the trajectory from success was from here, where I was, to there.
Right.
And it's never that. It's always this weird, you go around and around, you go up and under, and you're back and forth. And then when you get up on the gleaming mountain of success, you figure out it's really not gleaming. It's actually a pile of garbage. It's all the stupid stuff you did. You just happen to be standing on it instead of laying under it. And so, when I've met with people who have grown huge ministries, Franklin Graham over at Samaritan's Purse, Billy Graham's son, or you meet with even a Peyton Manning, or who's at the top of his game, or you go and you meet people who are, big time successful in whatever industry or ministry they're in. They are people who have made a lot of mistakes. And so just be ready for all the mistakes and the pain that goes with it and the course correction that comes with it. And just don't quit then. The number one character quality probably of successful people is they persevere, perseverance.
Right.
And just don't quit.
Right.
Because you're gonna do things and you look back and go, gee, it's like looking back at your high school pictures or something. You're kidding. How was I that stupid? How was that geeky, It couldn't have happened to me. But, you look back and
But we had hair.
Yeah, we had hair then.
We had hair.
That's true.
Yeah.
Scary. But yeah, and so be aware that mistakes are part of my friend John Maxwell, who writes a lot on leadership, has a great title to a book called Failing Forward. Lots of non-fatal errors. And the old saying, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. And just know that, okay, that I'm not gonna ever do again. Set that one over here. That one I'm not ever gonna do again. Set that one over here. And you pile those up, and eventually you stand on enough of those, and it's called wisdom.
So I tell my students that even now in the middle of this god-awful recession that's been going on much longer than we ever thought it would, that it's still a good time to be an entrepreneur. It still can be a good time to start a business. Would you agree? Am I giving them good advice?
Oh, I think it may be the best time because nobody thinks it is. And I talk to people every day who are having the best year of their lives. I'm talking to them all over America. There's people, and they're not just doing something that's feeding off of the recession. I talked to a repo man this week who's having the best year of his life. That's not good. But
Hopefully he'll be out of business.
Yeah,
soon.
I told him.
Yeah.
I said, don't count on this continuing, Bubba. But I mean, I meet people even in industries that you would think had completely dried up and were gone, and their sales are up. The Chick-fil-A folks are friends of mine, the Cathy family, and their sales are up. How is that in the middle of a recession? And so. Yes, there's a reality to a recession, and you don't want to be unwise, and you don't want to have a Pollyanna, I'll just positive think my way through this or something. But also, a lot of this is between your ears.
Right.
It is a decision to go, you know what, I get all of that, but I'm still going to go do this. And I'm going to figure out a way, you may have to navigate a little differently because of the way the economy is. When the economy's booming, any idiot can make it. I mean, a turkey can fly in a tornado,
Right. So are there certain segments that you tell people that are the best to go into right now, or certain types of businesses or certain customer groups or anything like that?
No, I would stay away from trying to figure out where the right thing to do is. It's like somebody saying, I'm going to go get that degree because I can make money doing it. Bad idea, because you need to have something in what you're doing that has a calling element to it, the sense of a higher calling. And you got to really want to do it, because entrepreneurism, running your own business, is a scary experience. The editor of Success magazine says that the entrepreneur is the only person who can go from sheer terror to sheer exhilaration and back every 24 hours. And so the thing is that find something you love and you believe in so much that you're willing to sell out for it. You're willing to lay out to catch that ball. You're willing to do what it takes. When everybody else thinks you're crazy, you're going to keep going. But if you're just kind of doing it for money, you'll quit.
Right. You got to have the passion. It's got to be the drive.
Got to.